In the vast expanse of the galaxy, Earth was often overlooked. Tucked in a remote arm of the Milky Way, this blue and green planet buzzed quietly with life, teeming with diversity and chaos, a stark contrast to the orderly societies spanning the stars. However, unknown to many, Earth had earned a formidable reputation among the galactic community as the most dangerous planet in the galaxy. Commander Thalrix of the Zyphorian fleet first encountered this notion during a briefing on the interstellar outpost V-27. The room was dimly lit, the air thick with tension as commanders from various sectors gathered, their eyes fixed on the holographic displays illuminating the center of the room. "Commanders," began General Ikar, his voice resonating through the hushed whispers, "we have overlooked the primitive planet designated as Earth for too long. Its inhabitants, humans, have shown an uncanny resilience and adaptability. This makes them extremely dangerous." Thalrix shifted in his seat, skeptical. Earth was not technologically advanced compared to the galactic standards. Their ships were primitive, their weapons almost archaic. Yet the data displayed was undeniable. Clips of human conflicts, their rapid recovery from disasters, and their relentless push into space despite numerous setbacks flashed before his eyes. "Our analysts have studied Earth's history," continued the general, pointing to a series of graphs detailing human progress. "Every time they face a global threat, be it wars, natural disasters, or internal strife, they emerge stronger. They innovate rapidly under pressure, turning their planet into a forge for tempered spirits and formidable warriors." Thalrix pondered the implications. It wasn't just their physical resilience that was alarming, it was their mental fortitude, their unyielding spirit. In one recorded instance, a single human held off an entire battalion with nothing more than ingenuity and sheer will, turning the tide of an invasion on one of the colony planets that underestimated their capability. The briefing shifted to a strategic discussion. "Our primary directive," Ikar explained, "is to engage with Earth carefully. We cannot afford a full-scale conflict. We must learn, understand, and possibly integrate some of their traits into our own strategies." As the meeting concluded, Thalrix left with many questions. The ride back to his ship was quiet, the stars streaking past the viewport as he contemplated the unassuming danger Earth posed. He decided that a closer observation was necessary. A covert operation was to be planned, one that would place him on Earth, disguised among its inhabitants. Landing discreetly in a rural area of what the humans called Wyoming, Thalrix marveled at the serene landscape, a stark contrast to the chaotic nature of human society he had read about. The wind was crisp, the sky a clear blue, and for a moment he wondered how such a peaceful planet could be considered the galaxy's most dangerous. But as he set up his observation post, tuning into the local broadcasts and watching from a distance as humans went about their daily lives, he realized the complexity of Earth. It was a mosaic of cultures, ideologies, and emotions, unpredictable and wildly innovative. Here, on the front lines of his mission, Thalrix would come to understand the true nature of Earth's danger and its potential to either uplift or doom the galaxy. His mission was clear, yet the outcome was uncertain. This was Earth, after all, the cradle of chaos, and he was now part of its unfolding story. As dawn broke over the sprawling cityscape of New York, Thalrix adjusted the frequency on his translator, tuning in to the myriad sounds of human life that filled the air. His disguise, a flawless synthetic skin overlay, allowed him to mingle unnoticed among the city's inhabitants. The urban environment was a cacophony of sights, sounds, and smells, overwhelming to senses tuned for the sterile corridors of a spaceship. On the streets, Thalrix observed the humans up close. Their interactions were often brief, but the intensity of their emotions was palpable. He was particularly intrigued by their capacity for both profound kindness and startling aggression, sometimes displayed within moments of each other. He made careful mental notes on these behavioral patterns, aware that understanding this duality was key to unraveling the enigma of Earth's survival and resilience. His mission today was to observe a public demonstration, a phenomenon that his briefings had identified as a quintessential aspect of human collective behavior. Positioned at the edge of a large gathering, he watched as speakers mounted a makeshift platform, their words sparking waves of reaction through the crowd. The speakers talked about rights, about changes, about revolution, a language of discontent and aspiration that seemed universal across the galaxy, yet felt uniquely potent here. What caught Thalrix off guard was not the speakers, but the reaction of the crowd. There was an underlying current of energy, a readiness to act that seemed almost tangible. It was as if each individual was a cell in a larger organism, reacting and adapting to external stimuli with an impressive synchronicity. Thalrix recorded everything, from the chants and cheers to the placards and facial expressions, each detail a valuable piece of the puzzle. Later, retreating to a quieter part of the city for analysis, Thalrix mulled over the day's observations. The human's capacity to organize and mobilize was remarkable, reminiscent of the swarming tactics used by some of the more formidable species in the galaxy. Yet there was something uniquely human about the way they tied emotions to their strategies, making them unpredictable and consequently dangerous. That evening, Thalrix received a communication from the fleet. There was interest in his findings, a growing acknowledgement that perhaps Earth's chaotic nature was not a sign of weakness, but a form of advanced adaptation to the galaxy's harsh realities. The High Command was considering an extension of his mission. As night enveloped the city, lights twinkling like distant stars, Thalrix pondered the dualities he had witnessed. The same species that crafted beautiful art and spoke of peace also built weapons and waged war with a ferocity that matched the most warlike races he knew. Earth was a planet of paradoxes, its inhabitants capable of extreme destruction and incredible creation. Understanding this planet and its people was more than an assignment now. It was a crucial challenge that could redefine the Zephyrian strategy, not just towards Earth, but in all their galactic dealings. If they could harness the chaotic brilliance of humanity, perhaps they could revolutionize their own civilization. But if they failed to grasp the essence of what made Earth so resilient and adaptive, they might very well fall victim to the very forces they sought to understand. As Thalrix set his devices to recharge and prepared for rest, the city continued to buzz, a never-ending stream of data and life, each moment a lesson in survival and evolution. The narrow alleyways of the city provided Thalrix with shadows to observe the darker sides of human nature. He delved into the criminal underbelly of New York, where the stakes of human survival were most raw and unfiltered. In these dimly lit corridors, he witnessed transactions and interactions governed not by laws or ethics, but by necessity and greed. A primal aspect of humanity, often masked by the facade of civilization. Thalrix, disguised, approached a group known for their involvement in illegal technology trade. Integrating himself, he offered fabricated wares from his ship, claiming they were stolen goods from corporate labs. The group, intrigued by the advanced technology, welcomed him with a cautious curiosity. This provided Thalrix an inside view of the human ability to adapt technology for personal gain, something his species had always controlled stringently within their own ranks. During one tense deal in a derelict warehouse, Thalrix observed the humans' quick thinking and resourcefulness. When a rival gang ambushed the transaction, instead of succumbing to panic, the group swiftly turned the situation around, using improvised weapons and strategic positioning. Thalrix recorded every maneuver, impressed by their instinctual grasp of tactics and guerrilla warfare, aspects that could be devastatingly effective when scaled in interstellar conflicts. The deeper Thalrix delved into this world, the more he realized that human resilience was fortified by their environment. The city itself was a teacher, its rhythm instructing its inhabitants in the art of vigilance and perseverance. Every shadowed corner provided lessons in caution, every crowded square in community. In his interactions, Thalrix was careful to maintain his guise, learning to mimic the colloquialisms and behaviors of his newfound associates. This immersion brought insights not just into human strategy and survival, but into their emotions and motivations. He learned of their fears and dreams, their motivations sprouting from both despair and desire. These emotional drives, often considered a vulnerability, were in fact a source of strength, pushing humans to innovate and conquer adversity. This exploration also exposed Thalrix to the human concept of loyalty and betrayal, a complex weave of trust and deception that underpinned all interactions. He witnessed alliances formed and broken, each shift a lesson in the delicate dance of human relations. The potential for betrayal added an unpredictable element to human strategy, making them formidable opponents who could alter allegiances for survival. As Thalrix compiled his findings, sending encrypted data back to his fleet, he couldn't help but compare the ordered society of his people with the chaotic dynamism of Earth. Here, innovation wasn't just about technological advancement. It was about evolving social strategies and survival tactics that responded directly to immediate needs. These lessons painted a complex picture of Earth as a crucible of perpetual conflict and continuous adaptation, a planet where survival was an art refined by every aspect of existence. For Thalrix and his people, understanding this could mean the difference between conquest and catastrophe. As he prepared for another day in the shadowed streets, the city's vibrant pulse continued to educate him, each heartbeat a whisper of the planet's chaotic genius, echoing through the cosmos as a testament to the might of Earth. Thalrix's explorations took him beyond the gritty urban confines to the sprawling landscapes of the American Midwest. Here, in the vast open fields and quiet towns, he sought to understand another facet of human resilience, their relationship with the land and nature. The simplicity of rural life offered a stark contrast to the urban chaos, yet it was underpinned by the same principles of survival and adaptation. In the golden expanses of wheat and corn, Thalrix observed the farmers who combined age-old agricultural practices with cutting-edge technologies. Drones buzzed overhead, monitoring crop health, while on the ground, farmers manipulated genetic sequences to enhance yield and resist disease. This fusion of tradition and innovation fascinated Thalrix. It was a testament to humans' ability to harness their environment's potential. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with streaks of orange and purple, Thalrix sat with an old farmer named Hank in the creaky porch of his farmhouse. Hank shared stories of the land, of years of bounty and years of loss, and how each challenge was met with a renewed vigor to persevere. "You learn to work with the land, not against it," Hank said, his voice as rugged as the soil he tended. "It teaches you about life itself. Nothing's given, everything's earned." These interactions deepened Thalrix's appreciation for the human capacity to adapt not just socially or technologically, but also environmentally. Each story Hank told was a piece of the larger puzzle, revealing how closely human survival was tied to their planet's rhythms and how this bond had shaped their evolutionary path. Thalrix took these lessons back to his covert outpost, integrating this new understanding into his reports. The connection between humans and their environment was not merely functional, but deeply spiritual, imbuing them with a resilience that was both practical and profound. As Thalrix expanded his mission to other regions, from the icy tundras of Alaska to the steamy rainforests of the Amazon, he observed similar patterns. In Alaska, the indigenous peoples had adapted their lives to the frigid climate, using sophisticated techniques to hunt and survive in what many would deem uninhabitable. In the Amazon, the locals maneuvered through the dense jungle with ease, utilizing every part of their environment to sustain their communities. Each environment taught its inhabitants unique survival skills, molding humans into a species that was remarkably versatile. This versatility was their greatest asset, Thalrix concluded. It was not their technology or even their social structures that made them formidable, but their profound connection to and respect for their planet. They understood something that many in the galaxy had forgotten. Survival was not about dominating one's environment, but coexisting with it in a sustainable way. This realization led Thalrix to reevaluate his initial assessments. Earth was not just a planet of warriors, it was a planet of survivors, whose every struggle and victory was etched into the very landscape they inhabited. Each ecosystem offered different lessons in resilience, and collectively, they comprised a planet that was not just surviving, but thriving amidst adversity. Thalrix knew that this information would be crucial for the Zephyrian command. Understanding Earth's inhabitants meant understanding their planet, and this understanding could reshape the Xiphorian approach to expansion and diplomacy. As Thalrix's mission on Earth extended, he decided to delve deeper into the complexities of human conflict and cooperation by embedding himself within various governmental and military institutions around the world. Disguised as a consultant for international security, he gained access to classified meetings and strategic planning sessions, offering him a front-row seat to the geopolitical chessboard that defined human society. Inside these high-security environments, Thalrix observed the interplay of diplomacy and power. He was struck by the paradoxical nature of human governance. On one hand, there were efforts to forge alliances, promote peace, and collaborate on global challenges like climate change and space exploration. On the other, there was espionage, political maneuvering, and an ever-present readiness for war. Thalrix attended a security council where nations debated a recent crisis in the Middle East. As each representative laid out their country's stance, Thalrix noted the underlying currents of fear, ambition, and mistrust. It was a dance of words and wills, where each sentence was weighted with the potential to either build bridges or burn them. The ability of humans to negotiate with a blend of subtlety and directness was fascinating. Each decision a calculated move to balance internal interests with external pressures. His access also allowed him to observe military strategies in practice. Thalrix was present at a joint military exercise in the Pacific involving multiple countries. The display of naval power, aerial prowess, and cyber capabilities showcased the sophisticated martial abilities of humans. What intrigued him most was not the technology itself, but the strategy behind its deployment. Humans were masters of adaptation, able to modify tactics on the fly to respond to immediate threats. This adaptability was further demonstrated in a covert operations center where Thalrix witnessed real-time espionage activities. Agents gathered intelligence from across the globe, using an array of technologies and human sources. The operations were a web of intrigue, with every piece of information a potential game-changer. Here, Thalrix saw the darker arts of human survival: deception, manipulation, and surveillance used as tools to maintain or shift power dynamics. Throughout his observations, Thalrix was continuously updating his understanding of Earth's strategic culture. It was a culture that valued resilience, where every loss was a lesson and every victory a stepping stone to greater security. This resilience was not just born from their environment, but was deeply woven into their social and political fabric. As his mission progressed, Thalrix began to synthesize his findings into a complex profile of Earth. He understood that to truly comprehend human society, one had to appreciate their history of relentless conflict and unyielding hope. Their planet was not merely a habitat, but a honing ground for some of the most adaptable, cunning, and resilient beings in the galaxy. Reflecting on his accumulated knowledge, Thalrix prepared for the final phase of his mission. He planned to present his findings to the Xiphorian fleet, proposing a strategic reassessment of their approach to Earth. The humans, with their chaotic brilliance and unpredictable nature, were not just another species to be cataloged, but a formidable potential ally or adversary. This realization was crucial, for in the delicate balance of galactic politics, understanding Earth could be the key to maintaining peace or sparking war in the stars. As Thalrix organized his reports, he knew that his recommendations could alter the course of Xiphorian interactions with not just Earth, but potentially other. In the closing stages of his mission, Thalrix prepared for his departure from Earth with a mix of anticipation and reluctance. His final task was to compile his comprehensive observations into a report that would not only convey the intricacies of human society, but also suggest a strategic pivot in Xiphorian policy towards Earth. Before leaving, Thalrix revisited New York City, where his mission had begun. Walking among the bustling crowds, he reflected on the immense diversity and vibrancy he had witnessed. Each person he passed carried stories of struggle and triumph, embodying the resilience and adaptability he had come to respect deeply. Thalrix's final report outlined several key recommendations for the Xiphorian fleet. First, he advised against any form of aggressive engagement with Earth. The humans' history and capabilities showed that they would not only defend their planet fiercely, but could also retaliate in unexpected and innovative ways. Instead, he proposed establishing covert diplomatic channels to foster communication and possibly collaboration. He highlighted the potential benefits of learning from human strategies in resilience and adaptation. Earth's political and military tactics, as well as their environmental management, offered valuable insights that could enhance Zephyrian strategies across various domains. Furthermore, Thalrix suggested that the Zephyrians could offer technological partnerships with Earth, particularly in areas like renewable energy and space exploration, where mutual benefits were clear. Such cooperation could pave the way for a more formal alliance, promoting peace and shared prosperity. The implications of Thalrix's findings were profound. Upon his return, he was debriefed at the highest levels of the Zephyrian command. His report, enriched with detailed examples and personal insights, made a compelling case for a shift in approach towards Earth. The High Command, initially skeptical, could not ignore the depth of his analysis and the strategic foresight it entailed. As a result, the Zephyrians initiated a series of covert operations designed to test the waters for future collaborations with Earth. These operations were carefully managed to ensure minimal disruption, using the most discreet methods to gather further intelligence and assess the readiness of Earth's governments for interstellar contact. Meanwhile, Earth continued its trajectory. Unaware of the subtle observations and shifts occurring in the shadows, the humans went about their daily lives, their potential for galactic significance unrecognized, but slowly being acknowledged by the powers that watched from afar. Thalrix, now stationed back among the stars, monitored the progress of these operations. He often thought back to his time on Earth, the lessons he had learned, and the unpredictable, spirited people he had encountered. He knew that the future was uncertain, and that the journey towards understanding and cooperation would be complex and fraught with challenges. Yet he also believed that Earth had much to teach the galaxy, and perhaps in time, the galaxy had much to offer Earth in return. In the vast canvas of the cosmos, Earth was a vibrant speck, teeming with life and potential. To Thalrix, it was no longer just the most dangerous planet in the galaxy, but a beacon of resilience and hope, a testament to the enduring spirit of its people and the untapped possibilities of their ascent into the galactic community. As he gazed out into the starlit expanse, Thalrix felt a profound sense of connection, a bridge between worlds once considered too far apart.